we doing, people? Today's date's the 29th of the 11th, 2018. I'm going to do a video, people. This video is quite important because there's still people out there that cycle conditioned dummies and dumbed down and still not paying attention to what's really going on in the bigger picture and how they think that men and women that represent a fiction known as Scottish Government or any other government is there to represent the people and protect the people, which is a total nonsense, right? And I'm going to give you the reasons why, and I'm also going to expose numerous MSPs in the Scottish Parliament that's registered in Dun and Bradstreet, their names and their addresses, to prove the point here. It's all fact, it can be checked, it can be searched in Dun and Bradstreet, and you'll find it without a shadow of a doubt. Now, let's get to the facts. People thinking that registering to vote and voting for politicians, men and women, representing corporations is a good thing. Well, it is not a good thing because they work for the corporations and they don't pull the strings. The bankers pull the strings and whoever else is above controls. Now, what do you get when you register to vote for a fiction Scottish Government or English Government, Irish Government or Welsh Government? We men and represent these entities. Firstly, what you get is corporate greed. Men and women representing a fiction, working against the people. They create policies, rules and regulations that they try to put across as law, which is not law, right? Because they're man-made. They get help with their mortgages, they get travel expenses, they get meal expenses, and they've got a life pension as soon as you become one of their politicians, a corporate officer, right? Now, what is it you get when you're just a man or a woman? Firstly, you're treated as a person. Everything in the legal and legal society is relevant to person. So what happens is these men and women create statutes and acts for a person, so you become a fiction, and it relates to the Crown Copyright Certificate of a record of an event known as birth certificate. When you fill in the paperwork, you become a fiction. When you register to vote, you give consent that you're going to vote, and then when you vote you give them consent to do what they want. That includes putting up council tax and all different services, and also you give them consent to sell the services to board members, shareholders of private corporations, and that's why the people are getting hammered. Plus, you give them consent to create acts such as Scotland Children's Hearing Act, where the courts or the alleged courts, administrative hearings, and the judges collude to steal your sons and daughters and make them a fiction because everything is under an act. So what is it you actually get for your vote, and what is it you actually get for your money? Higher bills, less services. The retirement age raised without your consent. Where does a man or woman representing an entity called government have the right to tell a man or woman when he or she will stop work? Right? No man or woman has that power. Everything is an illusion, people, with these people. People are cycle conditioned that well, they think that these people have the power to tell them what to do. Well, no man or woman can tell another man or woman what to do, and that's a fact. The councils are all corporations. The hospitals are all corporations. The police services are all corporations. Everything's corporate business, people. It's nothing to do with public services or the people's services, right? They've been stolen, but the people are still paying the highest price for them. The other thing as well, you get people that say that they're going to stop your benefit. Right, well, it's not actually the benefit they're stopping to the man or woman, it's a fiction, because everything in the legal system, legal society relates to fiction, and that's a fact. Now, the question you've got to ask yourself, right, when you've registered to vote or vote for these parasites, and that's what I call them, because that's what they are, parasites, they're paid liars, and the biggest majority of them in these parliaments are lawyers, and that's why they create the legislation to deceive and defraud the people out their inalienable and inherent right and their property and their equity, right? That's what they are, people, paid liars, make no mistake. Now, what is it you actually get when you register to vote or vote? You don't get mortgage, help with your mortgage. You don't get your meals paid for. You don't get your travel expenses and any other expenses that they're allowed to claim. You don't get a life pension that they're allowed to claim, and it's people that hard working people that work and pay into this corrupt system to be abused and defrauded. They're that good at their job, people, they're telling people they have to pay into a work scheme pension, right? Why? People are paying a thing called national insurance, they're paying tax, income tax, corporate tax. Why does a man or woman have to pay into a pension when you're already paying for that pension? That pension is already yours. They have no right to make you pay into a works pension, right? It's a fraud. And even if you do pay it, there's no guarantee that you are going to get it. People have to waken up to this nonsense that's going on, right? Because that's what it is, a total nonsense, an illusion. And we have to bust the bubble, right? And bring this illusion to an end and make it reality. The people have to waken up and do some serious thinking and look at themselves. You're not a man, you're not a woman, you're treated as a person. But on the other hand, you are a man, you are a woman, and you should not be treated as a person. That's why, as I keep saying in numerous videos, the man or woman's status is not in the act, and the name of the man or woman is not in the act. And the reason it is because person is a fiction. People have to research, don't take my word on this, right? I give the best information you could possibly give. I'm diligent in what I do, and I know what's going on with the system. Right? Now, the justice system, people are paying for the justice system. There is no justice system. It's administrative hearings under Roman law. They diminish the capacity and status of a man or a woman by capitis diminutio. When you get an all capital name, you're losing your rights, and that's a fact. Everything isn't as what it seems, people. And people are causing their self-harm through England, Wales, Ireland and Scotland because they believe that politicians are there to help the people. They are not. They're there to be paid liars for the people, to deceive and defraud, tell you lies and make it sound like they're helping the people when they're not really actually helping the people. They're actually causing harm to the people, and people need to, are required to, look at this with a serious attitude and pay attention. Because the way it is not going to get any better. It's the same as a prime example. This Brexit nonsense, right? And that's what it is, people, nonsense. The Brexit is not for the people, right? The Brexit is for the corporations. The debt is not owed by the people. The debt is owed by the mismanagement of these corporate businesses known as government. The men and women that represent it. They cause the debt. They cause the mismanagement, not the people, right? The people have nothing to do with it. The people do not owe a debt, and they have to realise that they don't owe this debt, right? They have to withdraw consent for paying any money towards that debt. But when you're paying your tax, people, income tax for the person, there's a amount of money. If you check into the website, you'll be able to get into your tax bills, and you'll see that they are already taking interest payments for the national debt. The debt isn't the people's, and it's time for you to write to these people and tell them that you're withdrawing consent, you never made the debt, and if they believe that you made a debt, tell them to document and verify a breakdown of everything that you have caused for this debt, right? And you'll find they can't do that, they can't rebut it either, right? And again, everything relates to person. Anyway, people, this video relates to Scotland and all the men and women, past and present, that are registered with Dun and Bradstreet, right? Corporations, their addresses is here as well. Can't be rebutted or denied because it came straight from Dun and Bradstreet. And bear in mind, people, this is an international database worldwide for all companies and corporations, right? Now, I'll give you an interesting fact here, right? Now, the woman known by the name of Nicola Sturgeon, the First Minister, acting in the role of First Minister, a fictitious office, right? She has two places registered in Dun and Bradstreet. One is in Govan Hill, Glasgow, right? And the other is in Paisley Road, Glasgow. Now, the thing about the one in Paisley Road in Glasgow, that is now a tattoo shop. That has been shut for a couple of years, people, but yet it is still registered as a corporation within Dun & Bradstreet. So the question that people have to ask is, what is really going on here? I'll tell you what's going on here, people. The people are being fleeced for money because they believe they've got an obligation to pay that money. But it's not the money. The man or woman's paying the money, but it is relevant to the person, the legal fiction, the crown construct, right? Anyway, people, the proof is in the pudding. I'm going to put the video up. Judge for yourself. You'll probably see a lot of politicians. It's your politicians, right? MSPs. As I said, this can't be rebutted or denied because it's in the database in Dun & Bradstreet. And if you have any doubts about what I'll put up, please go to Dun & Bradstreet, do a search, and you'll find what I've just put up, and you'll see it can be verified. Anyway, people, if you like this information, please subscribe to my channel on YouTube, Rob S. And also, I'm on Facebook, Robert Sproul. Now, I hope you enjoy this information, people. And I hope this information helps waking up the psycho-conditioned dummies that hasn't got a clue what's going on. They just follow the rules and regulations because they think that's the right thing to do when it's actually the wrong thing to do. Because that's what it is, rules, regulations and policies. It is not law. The law of the land is common law. End of. Anyway, people, take care, be safe and have a good day.